next guest led a Texas congressional delegation to the southern border to assess President Biden's border crisis firsthand. Joining us now to discuss what he and others were able to see is Republican Congressman Brian Babin. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Great to be with you, Heather and Tom.
So I know that you were, amongst some other places, at the facility in Donna, Texas, I think, yesterday. Tell us a little bit about what you saw. We were able to see some of the devastating images. These pods that were supposed to only house, 32 people, upwards of 500 at a time are being kept in these pods. Is that right?
That's exactly right. Those are some of the very pictures and scenes that we saw when we were there. We were stunned. And, you know, it's the hypocrisy of hearing about the kids in cages during the Trump administration, and to walk in and see this type of thing, and to be, you know, unbelievable. They talk about a humanitarian problem back during the Trump administration. I don't know what they call this, but they keep telling us that there's not a crisis, that the border is closed, that people are being turned back. And if you put the whole thing in perspective, that facility holds about 250 people, individuals, UACs, unaccompanied children. And there are 5,700, at least there were a couple of days ago when I was there. And I just got back last night. When we went on a trip from Padre Island and Port Isabel all the way through McAllen, we went to Laredo. We went up to Carrizo Springs. We saw a number of facilities. We visited the Coast Guard. We went to the Drug Enforcement Agency. We went to the river on several occasions at nighttime, and it was stunning to see how wide open this border is. It's not closed. It's wide open. There are children in inhumane conditions. We are in the middle of a COVID pandemic, and they're telling us, the American citizens, to distance ourselves, wear masks, and these kids are on top of one another in these facilities.
Congressman, I'm sure you've seen the new numbers out from the Border Patrol. 160,000 just last month. 35,000 have gotten away. There was originally some estimate, I believe, by one of your colleagues who said, well, we could see 1 million illegal border crossers. But if you look at those numbers, it could easily be twice that amount. You've been talking to your colleagues in government at the state and local level. It seems that the Biden administration does not want to slow this down. Do they feel like there are any state and local options to try and stop the flow of these migrants?
Well, we talked to a number of state officials as well. Oh, by the way, we invited Vice President Kamala Harris to attend some of our stops along on our itinerary. We never heard anything back from the administration there. She is supposedly has taken charge of the administration's border policies, and we never heard a thing. But yes, we saw plenty of Texas Army National Guardsmen down there. As I said, Coast Guard, a number of other state officials, and of course the federal officials. And I don't want in any way, shape, or form to be sounding like I'm faulting Border Patrol or you know, Customs and Border Protection officers, because they are doing exactly the hardest job probably in this country today, because we have so many overwhelming numbers of these individuals coming over. I saw a video. I didn't see this in person, but I saw a video of a 3- and 4-year-old child being dropped by a human smuggler from the top of a 15-foot fence. They bounced on the ground and they tossed their shoes over. And if it hadn't been there,
yeah, Congressman, we actually are showing video of that right now, and that was shot just by chance. Luckily, somebody, as you said, from CBP, I believe it was able to see this as it was happening, and they were able to go and rescue those two little children. I think, were they both little girls, actually?
Yes, a 3- and 4-year-old, and to have the Border Patrol being compared to the Ku Klux Klan by our Vice President, then Senator Harris, and then they go and rescue people. I mean, they rescue people out of the Rio Grande River. They save people in the middle of the desert. These guys and ladies are overwhelmed. They are taken off of the line because of the overwhelming numbers. to take care of these unaccompanied minors, and then that leaves a gap, and the coyotes and the cartels take advantage of it with drugs. We saw stacks and crates and cases of drugs, all kinds. I'm a healthcare practitioner. Fentanyl, cocaine, marijuana, methamphetamine. It's just overwhelming what's happening down there. And then to have the Biden administration say, "Oh, this is not a crisis, challenge." It's outrageous. They're misleading the American people.
Have you heard anything about the president coming to the border? What is the latest on that? Do you think that he should make that trip? And why do you believe he has not done so yet?
You know, it's hard to say. You know, they keep the president pretty well locked up. You know, he's had one press conference, I think, or maybe another one since that time, but they were all softball questions. They run the press out of the room every time he talks to the public. And quite frankly, I'm not sure. It'd be tough for this president to go down to the border. And I think that may be one reason. I don't know for sure, but maybe that's why they have Harris taking the ball on this situation at the border. But I'll just tell you this. Thank you to Newsmax. Thank you to a number of too few numbers of people who are telling the truth and that have news outlets, because the American people absolutely need to know what's going on down here. It is a disaster unfolding. We will have a crime wave in this country. We're going to be overwhelmed in our school and our medical facilities, and it's coming. And then the enormous cost of the facility in Donna is costing $16 million a month. And we will absolutely have, that's just one of the facilities. It's going to be overwhelming. And Biden created this. Heather Biden created this problem, and he needs to see it firsthand. I hope he does. His rhetoric and the Democrats' rhetoric have incentivized this to continue. And we will have we could have 2 million people coming across our border by this year.
All right. Well, Congressman Babin, thank you so much. And we do appreciate the fact that you went down there to the border and showing the pictures for everyone so they can see for themselves what is happening. And let's hope that we can do something to get it under control.
That's right.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you all. God bless.